Welcome back to the Diamond Connection. Now, over the weekend, there was a movie premiere for Black Dollar, a film by Kazadi Films, which was really successful. But our next guest, when leaving that event, was attacked in the car park. So I'm sure by now you know who I'm talking about. Biflo is joining us in the studio right now to just talk to us about the happening over the weekend. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. How are you doing?
We're good. We're happy to
How
see
are you doing?
Hey, I'm happy to be alive.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be alive, and it's good to be here. Who knows? Maybe I wouldn't have had this opportunity to be alive today had that thing continued. But thank God, people were able to see what was happening and came to my rescue.
Now, with everything that happened, just take us through exactly what was happening. Were you ready to leave and now heading to your car when this attack happened?
All right, so, well, like any other person that was invited to that event, I went and had a good time, and when it was time to leave, when the movie premiere ended, for me, I took it was time to go home, and then when I was about to exit, the people that were doing catering actually stopped me and said, there's going to be food and drinks upstairs, so you don't have to go home immediately. And for me, I looked at the time, it was around 23:40 thereabout, and I said, no. I don't think I want to do this. I just want to go home. So I said, but thanks for that. Then I started walking out. I was actually with someone. And so we were going down the stairs. You know the long stairs by government complex, the ones opposite the Freedom Statue, I think. Yeah, so as well, I was walking down. A certain boy came and said, Mr. Obama. Person goni ka something, So I said, my friend, at the moment I don't have anything. I think I've left my wallet. But next time you do a muntuanga. So I took it like it's one of those boys that clean. The ones that wash cars at government complex.
Okay.
I said, whenever I'm here for meetings and stuff, I usually
help
you out with something. You clean my car. I said, so next time, boy, I said, boy, pano, I don't have anything. I didn't carry anything. But next time, don't worry. So as I just finished talking to him, a group of about 6 to 7 big guys were coming behind me as I was going down the stairs, and they were following me. They were also like, hey, hello, Mwana Obama, so I looked back. I said, guys, so I'm from telling the young man here that I don't have any money on me, but next time, next time. He said, so I said, no guys, I said I don't have money today, but next time, it
became a command.
Yeah, so it became a command, and I kept going. So I reached the end of the stairs down there, and by the driveway there was a bus that was parked. So as I was walking, turning to the left towards the car park that's near Premium House, and I'm passing near that bus, the guys ran. 2 of them ran around like that to block me. Then I realized that this is getting...
It's an attack.
Yeah, it's an attack. So I told the person I was with, I was like, you know what, let's turn back and go back to the stairs, because there's light and there are people. So just as we were just walking, like just leaving where the bus was to try and get to where the stairs were, I just received the hardest slap of my life. A very big slap from the back here on the left side. I'm turning around to say, what wrong have I done? Guys, nishinachita. Another one, same spot. Then he tried to punch me, and then I did this.
It's the same guy who slapped you is the one who tried to...
Yeah, so he tried to punch me, then I did this. So when punching, it's my own,
your hand.
hand that hit me there. And then the other guy came and tried to kick me, then I moved backwards like that. Another guy came through, also tried to slap me again. I did this. Then a guy called Patrick Mumba came and says, guys, what's going on here? Why are you beating Biflo? Why are you attacking Biflo? Biflo is a very peaceful guy. What wrong has he done? Then they suddenly start saying, he was insulting the leadership. I'm like, what time? They start saying, I said, what are you guys talking about? That's when I realized that these could be cadres. Then the next thing they say, I'm from Intercity tuliwa kuchipanyifu. He mentions the name of the party. The other one says uko shefuta 99 ni nani. So they mentioned Bulldog and 99, and then the others are just standing like this, waiting to attack. So while the other guy, Patrick, was speaking to them, quickly I ran up the stairs to try and go and turn on my phone, because we were not allowed to have phones on, because they didn't want people to record the movie. So I was turning on my phone while running up to make sure that by the time I get up there, I can make a call and get help for myself. But when I just got up there, I just saw a group of guys from GeForce Security who came to say, oh, we're here to help you. Actually, we've seen what is happening there. We just want to make sure that you're safe and take you to your car. And that's how those guys helped me, whisked me away. But as we were passing, those guys tried to come back, but somehow...
Even with security, they were still trying to come back to
Yes, they were still trying to come back, and they were saying, apa so tudero Pilato, kwashala Pilato, natumu munomu alimukati we are now waiting for Pilato. So as we were walking, the security guys actually informed me to say, oh, you are actually not the first person that these guys have. It's just unfortunate that for you they were actually beating you, but for other people they were just roughing them up and harassing them.
The same night?
Yes. So apparently by the stairs there, when people were trying to go up, they would stop people and say, if we tuliwa kuchipani, tuliwa uteko, if we where are you going? Before you go up there, you have to give us something. Then when someone says, oh, sorry, I don't have money, then they'll say, then tawapitapa. So then others would say, then in that case, I'm going back to my car, I'm going back home. And then they would say, tapare okole until you give us money. Then about
were they doing it with just everyone, or is it those known for activism?
Well, the other three people that were mentioned, they are not even activists, they're not even public figures really. They were just going for the movie and they were stopped. I think there was a couple, and where they stop you and say, if you don't have cash right now, we're giving you a mobile money account. So apparently I'm told they transacted with about 3 people on a mobile money account, where they were able to say, send the money to the account if you're saying you don't have cash. You know, so that's how I left and made a few calls. One of the people I actually called was the mayor, because I wanted to know if he's the one that brought cadres there, and he said, I don't deal with cadres. Yeah, so I said, well, then I don't know. But for me, when things like this begin to happen, for me, my first suspects will be the people that have threatened me before. So if they are leaders...
Exactly. Which was... my next question was going to be, even with the names that were mentioned to you, are these names of people that you've met before? The Bulldog, is it Bulldog or whatever? Bulldog, are these people you've maybe debated with before?
Never. I don't debate with... I've never debated with any cadre. I've never debated with anybody, really. And I've never made any communication with any people that call themselves cadres whatsoever. So even when they were saying I had to ask to say, who exactly are you talking about? And they said then I look back and look at even like my content or my activism. There's never been a single time when I've actually addressed the head of state, for example. And I was really shocked. So for me, it started to feel like they were sent, you know, like somebody sent them. So when I look back, I'm looking at which ministers have threatened me before, which ministers have said, you are too naked to misbehave. Recently, there was a motion in Parliament where a minister needed to be censured because of threats that he made against me 5 months ago in June. And during that motion, this person is given an opportunity to speak. What does he do? He lies against me and says I'm in his car. He lies to say he knew me growing up. He sponsored my music career when I was beginning. He mentions that he speaks to my parents who died a long time ago. I don't know what that means. So now when you connect all these things, and then on that particular day, I actually distanced myself from him and said, I actually have no relationship with this person. The only time I've met this person really in person was during the launch of a radio station. And we took a picture together where there was Shefi. Unfortunately, that picture was actually cropped at some point because of the State House incident that happened. It was cropped where they cropped out Shefi to make it seem like I was hanging out with him. And the second time was when I was trapped. When I was trapped by him, where I went for something else to deliver a letter and found myself in that situation. Yeah, so when you see situations like that, and then during that time where the debate was going on in Parliament, I actually wrote on my Facebook and all my social media platforms to say, I have nothing to do with this person, and this person is lying about me. I can produce death certificates of my parents, for example. He can't lie that he speaks to my parents because they are deceased. He can't lie that he sponsored the beginning of my career, because everybody knows that my career started at Romaside Studio, where I was signed, unless you tell me he's a shareholder in Romaside. So then during that time, because just after that happened, I received a call from a number I don't know, telling me to say, because of the things you have written, distancing yourself from the honorable, cadres are looking for you. Okay? So when these things have happened, he's threatened me before, and when the motion went to Parliament for him to be censured, he wasn't censured. He went on again to lie and still hasn't been censured. So for me, anytime things like this happen, that would be my first suspect, because this is a person who's been threatening me.
Sorry to cut you off. So, I mean, from the way you've narrated the story, do you strongly believe this was premeditated?
Well, anything to do with cadres, definitely, it's something that is either it can be planned, it can be plotted by whoever sends the cadres, but again, there's an indirect way of empowering cadres. Sometimes leaders don't just tell cadres to say, go and attack someone. It's the careless sentiments and statements that are made by leaders, that are uttered by leaders, that give cadres an impression that, oh, so that one is an enemy, and because we are with this leader, we should go and attack that person. When a leader says, you are too naked to misbehave, it's like they are warning you to say, we've got access to your life. And then the others will say, if a leader goes on TV and says, in a press conference, addressing the media, and says, you are bringing the name of the president into disrepute, and you know yourself that you've never spoken about the president, he says that, the cadres who are listening begin to think, oh, so you are against Vakateka. What are we going to do? They're going to attack you, because their thinking is, a leader has given them a go-ahead or a signal. That's why it's very important for leaders to be objective and to think before they talk.
Have you tried to talk to this leader, to just have him a discussion between the two of you?
I don't think that we can reason together, because I have seen times when you have actually invited him here and he came lying that we are friends. He came lying that people eat from his home and all these things. And when you hear things like that, you're thinking, after he trapped me, I went through a lot of bashing, a lot of trolling, a lot of humiliation on social media. People were accusing me of being a sellout, of being paid and all these things. And you would think, if this person has got a heart, if he did what he did, if he trapped me for political expedience, maybe later on he should realize to say, I think I've injured this person enough, and let me apologize. But he's never reached out to me to apologize. All he does is goes on to lie. So I can't reason with such a person. I don't think that we're on the same level of reasoning.
At this point, through our talk with you, obviously I know the person you're talking about, but why aren't you mentioning the name of the leader we're talking about?
So because, like I've said, when a leader makes a statement, cadres take it, oh, he's giving a signal. If I mention him right now, other cadres who could be watching will say, oh, he's talking about our boss, and these things will continue. So really, I avoid mentioning the name, but I think everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Yes. From the narration of the story, you did say that at some points, the same guys were even getting mobile money from people that were going to the premiere.
Yeah.
And you have reported this case to the police.
Yes,
you came with some receipts.
Yes.
Well,
you have reported
this is from Central Police. I got a medical report from Central Police, and then I went to the hospital, and the doctor signed. Then I went back to the police to start with the whole process of the case. I also went through some scans and x-rays to make sure that I'm okay, because right now I'm in pain. This side of my face is really in pain.
Dark.
Yeah. It is, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my left eye is really, really in pain. And so I reported to the police, and I was assured that they will get to the bottom of it. According to what they've told me, they've said they've taken interest in this matter. some people have doubted whether they will take action or not because they feel this is the same. I reported to a police station that was recently attacked by cadres. So people feel maybe they might not do anything, or maybe they won't be given the authority to go ahead and fish out those criminals. But for me, I believe in following the due process of the law and going through the right channels. That's the reason maybe you might have seen me go to court to take certain cases there. That's the reason I've gone to the police. I went through all the channels. I went to make sure I seek medical attention. And I'm still following up with the police, and they've assured me that they'll get to the bottom of it. So I want to believe and trust that the police service in our country is still powerful and is still the number one institution that is mandated to enforce the law, and it's not these party security wings whatsoever. I've heard statements from the police, I think the deputy IG or something, I don't know the exact title, issue statement saying the police is sufficient and is the only body that is mandated to enforce law, and not all these party security structures that are being encouraged in our country. So I can only pray and hope that the police will prove the nation right or wrong, depending on how they will handle this case. And now it's a test. It's time for us to prove whether indeed the police has been undermined by the cadreism and who is giving the cadres the power. I'm also interested in knowing how government will be able to give that political will to the police for them to go ahead and arrest some of these people, because it is too much. Yesterday we saw a lady who was badly injured. We continue to hear of reports of people being robbed in the name of people claiming to be affiliated to a political party, and that is wrong. We don't need our country to get to this, because as we head towards elections, what this may do is that it can put this country, to flames, where citizens will begin to say, like what happened to me. If next time I'm going for an event, I'll probably say, okay, how do I protect myself? I'll probably also go with other people, or maybe I'll carry weapons to defend myself. Another person will do the same because they're trying to defend themselves. And as we head towards elections, we don't want that back and forth where we may start losing lives.
Okay. Now, finally, Biflo, do you, with what you've experienced now, do you still plan on being the activist that you are right now? Do you still plan on continuing to be as vocal as you've been?
Well, I will speak for as long as things are not going right. Any Zambian citizen in a democracy, unless you tell me that there's been an announcement or change in the constitution to say Zambia is now a dictatorship, then I will not speak. But as long as I am still hearing leaders claim that Zambia is a democracy, I will continue to speak out. If I have to die, let me die for the truth.
Thank you so much for coming through to the show. We're happy to see you alive is all I can say at
I'm
this
happy
point.
to be alive.
Yeah,
but I'm also disgruntled, and this makes me more disgruntled because I see that there's not much action that is being taken to ensure that some of these things stop happening. But it's up to the leaders to put their foot down and just say enough is enough. Citizens have suffered enough. If leaders don't take action, then they are tolerating and condoning the cadreism and thuggery and hooliganism.
Okay, hope the police do take the action like you have said. Thank you so much once again. So this has been Biflo talking to us about his attack that happened over the weekend after an event that he had attended. Now we'll go on a short break, and when we get back, we'll get talking patriotism, especially among youths.